Hello, Israel, Judah, and Gentiles alike. Today is Wednesday, April the 29th. It's about 3:15 in the morning. I've already prayed and thanked the Most High for guidance, understanding, constantly repenting for my sins and the sins of Israel. He's awakened me again. I thank him for that. The guidance and understanding that he has given me. I hope all of you guys are doing well. I'm just here today touching bases with you guys to clarify a few things pertaining to the rise of the Israelites. I know there is a lot of distractions, a lot of hate out here, a lot of deception. These things are going to be taking place for a short time. A lot of people spewing hate all over the platforms as usual. A lot of things are transpiring, but we knew these things was gonna be transpiring. I'm gonna touch bases on a few things. Some things I'm sure you've heard of, some things that my new viewers haven't. My viewers with understanding, and those of you that have none of this matter and these things is what I mean. I know we all have some form of understanding. But anyway, first thing I want to touch bases on is, it's a lot of things being spoken throughout these platforms. You heard me say in my previous videos that the news, the major platforms, news media, the programming stations are very active in keeping this war situation on the news and giving it to the public on a regular. That is to instill fear, to get low vibrations. And you hear me say that, they are fighting for their survival. I mean, even though it's not right, you hear me say that I understand. And these things are all going to take place on the regular until their end. We are in the time of the Gentiles. This is where they show their strengths. This is where people are choosing sides. The Most High or Satan. I use that term in this video so that I don't confuse the masses. Be it all of the nations, all of the religions, and all the people in the earth. this movie that's playing out, that's how I perceive it. I look at it as a movie that's being played out. And you have the director of this movie, which is the Most High. I mean, I know that the people of power of this system think that they are the authors, like a book. But the producer of this movie is the Most High. And it has an end. And the Gentiles and the Edomites and the fallen angels, all of those people play a part. And the whole point of that being is our Father, Yahweh, is going to edit it wherever he deemed fit. Now, he's speeded up the movie, so it's moving kind of fast, people. Some of the people are getting understanding of the movie or the plot of the movie, and then there are some that's not. So, for some reason, I get a part, right? My part is, as you heard me say in my prior videos, is to deceive Satan, right? It's to prevent him from taking as many people or souls with him and the fallen ones as possible. Now, I enjoy my part, yeah, you're going to have the critics, which is going to be the fallen angels. You're going to have the seed of Satan, as critics. That's where you get these people that come on these platforms and try to get on your videos and, the naysayers, some people call them. I'm in this section or sector, we're going to call them critics, as this is a movie, right? So my job in this movie is to pretty much say that you all have a choice, as if someone would say like, hey, I need you to walk through this door. Well, I can walk through a door, enter a bank, and I'm not deemed as a immediate threat unless I have a mask on and a weapon in my hand. But as Israel, when I walk through that door, bank door, just my appearance give the tellers and the bank manager an idea to deceive me or make my day worse than it need be. And this is not all the time, but it's the majority of the time for Israel. Now, the wicked is always going to come up against the chosen seed of the Most High. Always. I mean, it could be in just the things they say. It could be in the things that they do. I guess I'll be getting coffee in the morning. It's about 3:30 now, about 3:35. I've already prayed, so I'm up. Now, I said that to say that this movie that we're in, people, is coming to an end. This is the time of the Gentiles. The Most High speeded up their time their time is running out as they are preparing to come against Israel. You heard me in my prior video say Donald Trump is fine until he step out of bound and come against Israel. Just like Jacob was able to destroy Esau with that arrow when Esau and his sons and all of the other nations came up against him while he was grieving for his wife. And we're dealing with the descendants of those people. You know, they have changed their names in the earth, but they're the same entity, the same people. The Palestinians, the ones that's over there being so-called attacked by Milkovsky, that y'all call Netanyahu. He may have a different name, because in actuality, people, we don't know who these people are in the earth as we have been asleep. You know, we was the dry bones. I like to say dead, but dry bones, and we have awakened. So that's why you hear me say, you know, I don't trust nobody but the Most High God, you know, nobody. And Yahweh have kept me on a straight and narrow since he has awakened me. You know, I talk to people of associates that are mine, distant family members or whatever, you know, and they want to say, well, why all of this God stuff? Why all of the change? And I explained to them that, you know, still in 2010, the Father woke me up. I mean, a little bit before that, but absolutely in 2010. And I've been on I would say his downline to give the information to the masses ever since. I try to keep on a righteous, in a very narrow path. I try to I try to address, you know, everyone, which in these times that we're in, that's who need to be addressed, is everyone, because, you know, a lot of people out here that didn't have a hand in the destruction of us will not be going into captivity. They will not be destroyed. But the wicked and this wicked system is already under major attack by the Most High's angels. You know, I starting to see like things on the networks and certain things. They're saying that, you know, God is here, and they're happy and they clapping and, you know, all of these things. And be that as it may, people, Yahweh Shai is not going to sneak on the earth. Everybody going to see him in his glory, people. He's not coming up. And all of the nations, they run, you know, because all of this war stuff or whatever, they all over the earth right now, all of them. And where they're located at is these stargates. They waiting and trying to figure out where and how Yahweh Shai is going to come through, and how their destruction is coming upon them. Because you hear me say all the time, there's nobody getting through the firmament, people. They're steady telling you that, oh yeah, we just went to the moon. You ain't went nowhere. Unless the moon is down here under the firmament. In the desert over there, or whatever, maybe y'all went there. You're not leaving. You can't get out of the firmament. The firmament, the earth is enclosed. And underneath the enclosure of the firmament is water, people. You look up in the heavens, they call the sky. All that stuff that they spraying up there, it stays underneath the water, which is underneath the firmament, right? If that stuff that they're spraying up there, and they spread it in planes every day, if there wasn't a dome above that circumference, the earth, that stuff will go up in the upper heavens, which they call space, which is the upper heavens. It stays under here and you see it and it clouds up the sky and it blocks the rays because you're inside of a dome, which is the firmament. And underneath that is water, right? So it stays down here and it falls back to the earth slowly. So they're not getting out. Because if they could get out and go to Mars, you think the fallen angels, the ones that came down here with Satan, you think they still be here? And the watchers that didn't get buried in the desert under jagged rocks and chained, you think they still be here? They'd be out. They've been drilling down in the oceans. They've unleashed the ancient stuff, like the megalodon. You know, it's been on the TV all the time. And all of these ships that disappearing in the ocean and the government covers it up because they don't know. But most of them know. The government knows that megalodon still exists. This is a shark that's 70 plus feet long, weighs tons, that takes down vessels. And some he didn't take down, and they documented, but the government hid it up. The fallen angels been digging under the earth trying to get out of her. They ain't going nowhere. They locked down her like the Father said, people. And the angels are watching them. See? In Ohio, I believe it was, when that meteor hit Ohio and everybody was complaining why NASA didn't tell them it was coming, because they didn't see it coming. Because it didn't come through the dome, the firmament. It came through a portal. See, the Father is instilling fear in them. The Father is letting them know that judgment is here for you guys. Judgment is on the earth, people, for the wicked. So, my job, as I stated, is to show you what's going on, to relay this information to you guys so that you may be saved. You have a choice. You can keep on in your wickedness or you can change, as I explained to you. All of y'all don't have to go to Hades. See? You have choices. Repent. Acknowledge who the people of the Most High God is. Right? And that be Israel. That be the blacks, the African Americans, the niggers, the colors, the FBAs here in the fourth part that you guys call America. Oh man, there's nothing like coffee. Nothing. But, so, everybody is looking at all of these distractions. They're talking about this one female that spewed this hate. I didn't even call her name. But people, get over it. If your brother tells you that all of the nations are confederate against you, Israel, I mean, Israel, you are the niggers, the blacks, the African Americans. If she calling you a nigger, that offends you, right? Because what, you see hate in her? Because she spewed a lot of things to let you know that she has a very ugly opinion of Israel. But all of the nations do. See? And what the Father has given us discernment, right? To worry about things that's important and not worry about the minute things, small things, people. Keep your eye on the prize. The prize for Israel is 1,000 years to reign on earth with Yahushua, that you call Jesus, most of you guys. And during that time, Satan will be chained. The nations are being judged, but during this time, they'll be out of our land. All of these people in my opinion, are irrelevant people. They are irrelevant as they have already enjoyed our blessings. See? And they've enjoyed them so much, they refuse to let them go. Just like us. They've enjoyed our blessings of us and them being around us and being blessed till they refuse, just like the Pharaoh, to let them go. See? So those are minute things. You know, most of y'all out here, y'all on these platforms, you're trying to get involved and create with the AI. The AI is your worst enemy. Because once you gather all of this money with the AI and within their digital system, they're going to cut you off. And there's nothing you're going to be able to do because you have no physical, financial. You will have no documents. Everybody want to go buy land. You know, Netanyahu up there, I think that was Ohio, some female was saying that the governor or the mayor sold them out and they selling this land to Netanyahu and they finna build this and that. The Most High said that they have parted my land and gave my son for a harlot. This land is not theirs to sell, people. It's not. Because they're going to be out of here. Whether they go by force or whether they go through fire. However the Father deems fit, when Yahushua come down here, he'll make that call on how they're going to leave. But don't worry about those things. But what I do want you to worry about is entering into the system. See? You are entering into a system that's going to destroy, that's designed to destroy you, Israel. So let them buy the land. Because whoever's selling it to them, it's not even their land to sell. This is our inheritance. Ours. And the fatherland. Yahushua coming down, he has a favorite part of the land. And if I'm not mistaken, Israel, Netanyahu and them been trying to buy his land because they know where it's at. So it's, let it play out. So you hear me say, Israel, I need for you to be still. Yeah, I see a lot of y'all with the back and forth with these nations. You're arguing with things that's not going to even be here. That's a waste of your time. That's a distraction. I need for you to get past these things. I need you to elevate yourselves above these things. This is important. And for you other nations, you heard me saying in my last video or the one prior to that, that you've already cursed Israel. We've been cursed for thousands of years. Arabians had us in slavery for 1,003 plus, give or take a few years. Their slavery ended supposedly in the 20th century, which it hasn't ended. Israel is still enslaved. We're enslaved here still through their tax system. All of these things has been put in place to keep us at the bottom. All of the United Nations are united against Israel. You heard me talk about this in all of my videos for years. Not my videos for years, but on the platforms, Facebook, for years, people. These things are all facts, all of them. And how I know is because the Father gave it to me. You know, that's why I say, you guys got to use discernment on when to pick your battles. I saw some female, I guess she's from Texas or something. She looked like she's from Texas. She had on a hat. She looked like a cowboy or cowgirl or whatever. Very, she looked very aggressive, but defined. I don't know her name or whatever. I just saw her. She was saying that all of these things must stop. The calling of the name of the black people or whatever. And but the publicity, the media, the attention is on that, not the rise of Israel. See, I want you to be talking about our rise and how happy I am for you guys that y'all don't even know what's going on that pertains to your rise to the head from the tail. It's so many distractions to where most of you just go with the flow. I want you to know that these data centers that they're building consumes drinking water. The data centers needs to be built for Satan agenda, see? But it destroys the people, and you hear me say Israel, the wars against Israel, and absolutely it is. But in actuality, people, you blacks, you whites, you whatever, Mexicans or whatever you are, Spanish, whatever, the war against you as well. See, because Satan wants to destroy man. So if you happen to be a different persuasion, you're a man or woman or whatever, his attack is against you. It's to keep you bickering among each other while he destroys man. And the AI, you hear me say, destroys you in two ways. Your mental capacity and your very being, the water that you drink. They have a machine that inserts a sleeve into the earth and forces the water to come out the earth onto the land so it can dry out. And now they have AI data centers that they building everywhere to utilize water. My coffee is made of water. H2O, H3O, whatever, is water. It's something that human beings, God's creation, consumes on a day-to-day basis, people, for life. But the earth is full of water. Most of the earth is water. So you hear me say that they was building this system to pump seawater into the inlet, into the land. Convert water. Why is it all of this conversion of water? The very thing that you drink. I saw on the news that Donald Trump lost, what? I think it said something 650 or $560 billion due to him not securing the contract for data centers. From who? Understand this, people. And forgive me for how I'm going to talk right now. I'm just going to be candid. Donald Trump don't own shit over her to be accepting contracts in our land, the land of Israel. This is the Holy Land over here. The Garden of Eden is over here. That black, whatever it is, it's a major company that bought up all the real estate. Because that's probably where them data centers are going without people even having anything to say, because they have already bought up the land. But when they come close to communities, now that I brought this out and I've seen some Europeans on point with it, they're letting them know that, you're not building it here, partner, because it's that computer that Satan is trying to build, people. So he can be in the north, in the mountains in the north, and sit on the throne like the Most High. But he's not the Most High. The Most High created him, so you can never be like your creator. They say that you could be better. That's man. Man sells you those myths. See? Like that Greek mythology shit. They say it's Greek mythology, but in actuality, all of these things transpired. Pan was a centaur. And the bull with a man, I forget what it's called. All these things exist. That's the fallen angels mixing bloodlines, their blood with animals. And women is the demigods. All of those things exist. Satan don't own nothing over here. Donald Trump don't own land. The people that secured this land with fake money, this dollar bills, they don't own this land. This is God's country. This is the Holy Land over here in the fourth part. Y'all ancestors gotta go. You're gonna be evicted, people. Y'all getting out of here. However, the Father send a brother down here, a demon fit, however y'all gonna go. You're not gonna be over here, period. So all of that, parting his land over here, because this is, Israel is over here, not over there in Ham's land. This is Shem. We are Shem, people. We are Israel. So don't worry about it. Let them do what they want to do. This is what they're supposed to do. Because you heard me say that the wind, the curses is here for them. Destruction is here for them. The winds have been released. The angels are here. You heard me say in video months ago that the Father told me that the angels had surrounded the earth. They're in here. He let them in through portals. That's where all of these soldiers and all of these war things are. They set up like they finna fight. What they have these portals. Stargates, they call them. That meteor that came and hit Ohio came through a portal. No, NASA didn't see it coming. But that's what the Most High let them know. You're not going to even see it coming. And all of this gearing up for this war to fight Yahweh Shai when he get here, y'all call Jesus. Y'all gear up all y'all want it. When I see y'all gearing up, it makes me happy. Y'all want to sitting for the Israelites over here, thinking that Yahweh Shai is not going to destroy Israel or Yah because Israel there. But you got to understand, he's not going to destroy Israel, but he's going to destroy you guys. The Father said that he put foolish people over us. But y'all seem to want the world think that you guys are very intelligent. Talking to the Edomites now, the descendants of Esau. Why you went over there to make a deal with Iran? Not a deal. You went to let them know that the Israelites have awakened. Like they didn't know. They already knew that we was awakening. It's prophecy. And they saw us on these media platforms bringing these very things out, right? So you goes over there and sit down with them to make a deal or to plan. And they saw a way to get rid of you off their land. In my earlier videos, you heard me say that Netanyahu, everybody was talking about, oh, Netanyahu was deceased. They destroyed. No, he's not destroyed. He'll be here to get that judgment. But you heard me say that around that time in my videos that they would have to be trying to remove Donald Trump off the land or out of the limelight. So now he's supposed to be arguing with the Pope. Donald Trump don't have power over the Pope. People, understand that. The Pope sits do you hear me? Listen. The Pope sits on the throne right now. Satan's throne on earth. See, the church in Rome that the Pope sit on, the designer of that church, that establishment, that I'm gonna call it a synagogue, right? The Pope runs everything. The Pope soldiers are the Jesuits. The Jesuits been infiltrated every government. The Jesuits run everything. If it was a real threat to the Pope from Donald Trump, you know, all of these little funny so-called attempts, assassinations, people, that's all theater. And y'all feed right into it. The Jesuits would have been destroyed, Donald Trump. Donald Trump would be no more. Satan runs the Church of Rome that the Pope sits on. He's the designer of. The church runs everything. They run the little churches, which you heard me call the harlots that you attend. That Netanyahu on the other side right there, sending clergy the back here to the fourth part to confuse the masses. You guys. Oh, this is at 38. Well, no, 39. So I ain't gonna go over 45. Son, this up. It was supposed to be real short. So anyway, people, the distractions, come off with the distraction. Let the Most High destroy your enemies. You've been here, if you watch my videos, if you could share my videos, share them to people that will go back in there and find these very videos that the Father have given me this information to relate to you guys, so that y'all can get an understanding of this movie that we're all in, that the Father is about to bring to an end, because he was speeding up the time, people. And he have sent people like me here and people like me to relay this information to the masses so that most of you can be saved. That's where we at in time. The Gentiles' time is up. The rulership of Israel, the world is not going to come to an end. The rulership over the Most High's chosen seed, Israel, the true people, here in the fourth part, the niggers, the blacks, the coloreds, the African Americans, the FBAs, all of these by names that they have given us, which is in scripture. So understand that I need for you guys to divert from this arguing with these. Let me say that they're going to be stubble, firewood, if you will. Stop arguing with foolish people, a foolish nation above you. The Father said he was going to put a foolish nation above you, being foolish that the laws and statutes and commandments are not done away with, because they was only designated for Israel. The covenant for Israel is forever. The United Nations is united against Israel. Your brother, Yahushua, that you call Jesus, is the son of the Most High God, Yahweh. And that son said, Israel, talking to you niggers, you blacks, you African Americans, you FBAs, all of the nations are confederate against thee. If they hate me, they gonna hate you. So they hated him and they hate you. And you wonder why they hate you when you haven't done anything to them. You don't have to do nothing to them. You are the people of the blessing. That's why they hate you. So, you Gentiles, all you religions, all you races out here, if y'all want to use that, repent. Ask for guidance, understandings, and forgiveness from the Most High. Israel, keep the laws, statutes, and commandments best you can. Ask the Most High for guidance and understanding. Pray for restoration. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let it go. God so loved Israel that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever shall believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. And you nations who has not had a hand in the destruction of Israel, are to cling to Israel. You are to bless Israel, because you have already cursed us for thousands of years. So if you don't start blessing Israel and acknowledging who we are, you will be cursed. Till next time, shalom.